Hey friends, welcome back to the Special Kind of Motherhood podcast. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I am actually sitting here in my house. It's completely quiet. My husband loaded up our kids and he took them with him to town to get a few things done so that I could record in the quiet. And I actually have a little cup of hot cacao. I'm trying to quit caffeine right now. I'm doing a hormone reset program. And it's been interesting cutting out coffee. I love coffee. And so I've been trying to find a replacement for that. So I just have a warm cup of hot cacao and I am sitting here just enjoying the silence. And it struck me as comical because actually I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about trying to enjoy silence and what it can do for us just to take a short amount of time every single day just to sit in the silence. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Special Kind of Motherhood podcast. This podcast is for moms who are parenting differently abled children. Maybe you desire to switch to a more natural lifestyle to improve your family's health, but you have no idea where to start. You're longing for more routines and time, but every time you try to implement those tips that you've spent hours researching, you realize that they don't work for your family dynamics. Hi, I'm Ashley. In this podcast, we will focus on implementing routines, switching to a more natural lifestyle, and uprooting those old mindsets that are keeping you stuck, so that you can plant yourself firmly in the truth that Jesus offers you. Our focus will be on creating small, customizable changes that will build upon one another over time to create real impact in your life. If you want to hear from a mama who has been raising several children with special needs and who knows how important it is to do this in a way that's sustainable and that doesn't add to your overwhelm, then this is the podcast for you. Pop in those earbuds, reheat that coffee for the third time, and let's go. Before we get started, if you have not gone yet to leave my show a review, I would love it if you would just take 30 seconds to head over wherever you listen to this podcast and leave it a 5-star review. It helps me to be able to reach more people and to build this community. So if you found value in this show, I would love it if you would just head over really quick and leave me a review. All right, let's go ahead and get started. What I want to talk about today is just silence and how that can actually be a benefit for us. It's something that I feel like is very countercultural, especially with the internet, with our phones, with all the different things that we have going on, our busy schedules. I feel like as a society, we often don't really value silence, but it can be extremely, extremely beneficial for us. And what I have found to be true for me, as I have been just taking a small amount of time every single day to really make sitting in silence a priority, is that my body actually really needs that. My nervous system needs that. I crave that now that I realize the benefits of it. But it can be something that seems so simple that we overlook it and think that it actually really can't give us that much of a benefit until we actually start trying it and making it a priority to sit in silence. If you're a mom who has been caring for your children, especially if you have children who have very specific needs, who require extra care, maybe they require some kind of help with you as far as like physical care, it can be very taxing. It can be very overwhelming. Honestly, just being a stay-at-home mom in general is very stressful at times. It's a wonderful blessing. I am so thankful I get to be home with my kids and I get to be a part of their education and I get to be very actively involved in raising them. However, it obviously is a job. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes mental energy. It can be taxing. And so often we end up being overstimulated, or at least I do, overstimulated, overwhelmed, touched out, all of these things. And we get a moment to ourselves. And instead of just actually giving our body what it needs, which is a moment to decompress, we grab our phone and we start scrolling, or we start watching a video or listening to a podcast or listening to this audiobook, whatever the thing is that you do. I have done all of those things. And we're actually making it harder for our body to get the thing it needs, which is a moment to decompress, for our nervous system to be able to reset and to realize, hey, you're not being chased by a bear, all is well. And so I just want to encourage you, this is going to be super tactical. It's going to be something you can just go implement today. And it's going to be a very quick episode. But I want to encourage you to make it a priority to spend 10 minutes a day in silence. So if you have to go hide in the bathroom and you tell your husband that this is what you're going to do and you don't want anyone back in that area, do whatever you've got to do, whatever works for you in your schedule. But taking 10 minutes of no noise, no distractions, no cell phone, no book, nothing, and just sit in silence. As you're sitting there, just make the time and the effort to slow your breathing down. Start making sure you're taking deep breaths. You're reminding your body it's safe. We're safe. All is well. It can give you some time to pray, to process through the day, to ask the Lord if there's anything that you need to do, that you need to handle differently, whatever it is. It just gives your body that time to sit in silence. It's so important that we are making sure if we're taking this time, we are not having noise, distractions, all of these different things that, again, it stimulates us. It triggers our nervous system. It makes us feel stressed out and overwhelmed. If you are trying to take your 10 minutes of silence and your children are banging outside the bathroom door, it's not really going to be effective. And so I think just being very intentional about how can I do this? And just remember, it's just 10 minutes a day. So for me, I have found it works better at the end of the day versus the morning, because usually when I get up in the morning, I'm not necessarily feeling the stress of the day because the day hasn't happened yet. But if I will do it towards the end of the day or even mid-afternoon, that is when I have found it to be very beneficial in just helping me to kind of regroup and to find that I'm approaching the day from a much more calm and less stressed out or reactive manner than whenever I don't take the time to do this. And it's something that's so simple and so easy to do and doesn't require a lot of time. I just want to encourage you guys, try it for a week or 2 weeks and see if you start to notice a difference. See if you start to feel that sense of it's actually, your body feels a little bit more safe. Like, okay, it's going to be okay. We are going to be able to handle whatever stress is coming at us. It comes out of that fight or flight mode and you're able to just relax and to be calm. I will also say, if you are like me and you are used to constantly being stimulated, I am with my kids all the time. I always have a kid with me. I can't think of a time when I don't, unless I run to town or I'm working on my business stuff or something like that. And so I am used to constant stimulation, whether it be children running, playing, fighting, jumping, whatever the thing may be. Plus, I'm often like listening to a podcast, or I have different classes and courses that I'm doing. So I'm taking in those, listening to those. It's a lot. What I've noticed is that my body has come to expect constant stimulation. And it is not good for my nervous system or for my body. It's not good for my health in general. So part of me starting to be very intentional about this time of sitting in silence was me trying to retrain my nervous system to not expect and basically be addicted to this stress response that the overstimulation was constantly creating in my life. I'm really trying to break that cycle. But I will tell you, when your body is used to that and you start to introduce it to something else, in other words, silence, it feels very weird. It feels uncomfortable, and you will find yourself thinking, okay, what could I be doing right now? Or is there something I could be working on? Is there something I need to be thinking about? And it's just very hard. And I'm not saying sit and think about nothing. That's not at all. Process through your day. Pray to the Lord, whatever it is. The point is to not have any outside noise or distractions. But it's just been interesting to me to realize as I started doing this, how much I really truly my body was craving and relying on that stress response from the constant stimulation. And so it's been so nice to just say, okay, I can take 10 minutes a day for myself to sit in silence. 10 minutes is not that long, and it does make a huge difference for me. So I hope that you guys will take this time, take this challenge. Please come over in our free Facebook community. I will post the link below in the show notes and share with us. Are you going to do this 10 minutes a day silence challenge, I guess is what we'll call it. And let us know if you're going to do it. And then also keep us updated on how it's going. So after that first day, did you find yourself struggling to sit in silence? Did you find yourself wanting to reach and grab your phone? Did you find yourself wanting to grab a piece of paper to write down all kinds of stuff? Which I highly encourage. I mean, I think also having that moment gives our brain just time to process. So it is often that I'll think of things I need to do or think of things that were weighing on my mind. And so quickly jotting it down has worked well for me. But I just want to hear how it's going for you. Do you feel like it's helping? Do you notice you do feel a lot more calm after you're done with that 10 minutes of just sitting in the quiet? Or how is it going for you? So just come over to our free Facebook community, share with us. I hope that this encourages you guys, and I hope that you guys will try it. I will see you back next week. Hey, before you go, if you found value in today's episode or you learned something new, would you take a minute to share with someone else that you know would be blessed by it? I would also love it if you would leave me a review. This lets me know that you're enjoying the show, and I love hearing from you. You can connect with me further over on Facebook or Instagram. Until next time, rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, and be constantly in prayer. Romans 12:12.